guys, are we ready?
You look different.
Welcome back. I have taken over the stream. I don't see myself, but that's fine. You don't need to see me.
There's a button to turn on the GM
There's a
toggle.
GM toggle. Oh, yeah, there's a GM toggle. Hello.
Good morning, Toggle. Has been good morning.
Hi. Hey, let me pull out my little... There we go.
Yeah.
The swoop has been loosed.
I will be playing Fox today. I don't have a character sheet.
Oh,
That's nothing new.
yeah, that really sucks, doesn't it?
It's really inconvenient trying to play D&D this way. But I somehow am attuned to the rod of charisma, and so it's been fine.
That's actually apt.
You know, you sound pretty cool and awesome.
Yeah, I am very cool.
You know what? I'm feeling compelled to give you a break.
Oh yeah, that's nice. That's very kind.
I think you should give her an inspiration.
Whisper. She has an inspiration.
Watermelon.
I don't think anybody knows what's happening, but I know what's happening. I'm taking over the stream.
because you're the
I'm
GM.
Look at me, I am your DM.
I'm your DM now.
Okay, I'm gonna trade seats with you.
I have a question.
You want to trade seats?
Yeah,
for everybody.
just for fun.
I want to know your question.
You can still be in charge just from this.
Wash has a question.
I don't want to trade
Wash has a
seats.
question.
What's the question?
Since the beginning of this game today, how many beverages have you consumed?
Too many. Actually, just the right amount.
I'm confused.
1 Fresca, 2 mugs of water, and then
That's true.
2/3
Straight.
of vanilla Coke.
2 mugs of water, 3 Coke Zeros, including this one, 2.5 Coke Zeros, and that's all of them.
We're Hydro Boys here. How about you, Hydro Gang?
I'm not a Hydro Boy, apparently, because I have had 1 Coke, 0, and I think 8 Red Rock ginger ales.
Holy cow! I've had 1 coffee, 2 Red Rock ginger ales, and a Red Bull.
I feel like we get more extreme the further on the table we go until Jake's like, yeah, I was like some Red Bulls, I threw back some whiskey.
I brought the whiskey, but I will not be consuming it until
Happy
after.
New
It'll be a
Year's,
celebration whiskey after
Too much beverage is
the
a great
the session is
Wait,
over.
Cleo, what beverages have you had?
I've had one of these. No,
Starbucks Frappuccinos.
no, you're not supposed to say the brand.
Some sort of unspecified brand.
Yeah, my
Twitch
bad.
TOS.
Iced coffee, prepackaged iced coffee.
I'll take this opportunity while I'm standing up to show off. Wash
My abs.
made us shirts.
Yeah.
And on, so everybody,
that
if
was
you,
really- I was
well,
really
I'd show
loud.
you on Jake, but Cleo's standing in front of that camera. There you go. So you can see on Jake's shirt, those are the 4 main characters that
4
we started
guys.
this adventure with. Rest in peace, Zothkug.
Rip.
And then Wash made me a shirt that has the GM like over everybody.
Yeah.
So that's all
Incredible.
original pixel art that Wash did. So
Incredible.
just shouting that out because he's incredible.
I just
Shower
want to point
people
out
with
what
praise
B
and
Street said as
admiration.
well, by the way, which is you don't need a character sheet if you only roll nat ones.
True.
That's fair.
You also don't need a character sheet if you never roll dice.
I mean, that's also fair.
Yeah. And then just to reiterate, in case we have some new people who joined us or anything like that, we have a thing we're calling the crit pool today that we based on subs, where if you add, like if you sub, it adds to the crit pool, and then whenever someone criticals, they can roll all of those extra dice to add them on to the damage that they deal. So
we
it's just a way to like make things fun and beat people up, but we're not going to be offended if you don't subscribe. Like don't feel too much
Do we
pressure.
subtract that damage if we roll nat ones?
I considered making it that way, but I was concerned that you'd get like, fellow DMs in the chat who are like, let's wreck them. And you'd be like subtracting 70 D6 or whatever. So, no, so we're not going to do that.
I'm glad we didn't do that because we did roll like 7 nat ones in a row.
Yeah. I rolled a negative 35 on my initiative because of the negative one.
Yeah. In other news, a windstorm flew across the corner of the table today as Cleo was affected by an absolute torrent of sneeze fits. Cleo, we all send our thoughts and prayers to Cleo country, hoping that things turn out okay.
What was that county?
Crisis averted?
So, little tip.
I know
if
very
you
little.
predict the sneeze
Yeah.
very intentionally, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to count to 5, and I am going to sneeze.
You don't sneeze.
You don't sneeze.
This is what string theory is based on.
If you measure
Because
it,
there's an alternate universe where she did sneeze.
If you observe yourself predicting
Schrodinger sneeze.
Yeah, if you observe yourself predicting the sneeze, it won't happen.
well, it's more like by fundamentally observing the time interval between the sneeze and trying to measure that time interval, you have actually changed it physically
Yeah.
by just observing it.
String theory.
Yeah.
It's also how light waves versus light particles work.
That's true as well. Yeah. If you try to measure one thing, it acts like the
other.
one thing. Yeah.
You know, if you're
One
looking,
thing. I don't know why.
It doesn't even matter how hard you try.
Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to explain in due time.
All I know.
All right,
Cleo
sorry
is a
for the
valuable
sibling.
thing.
Aw.
I know.
Can actually DM, since you're over there now,
Yeah.
could you hand me my mug on the chest?
Is that like a special way to serve something?
Yeah.
Here. Mug on the
Sponsored
chest.
today.
I'd like a s'mores whiskey on the rocks on my chest.
They're just like throw rocks at you.
Can do.
Can do. That's the kind of attitude we like around here.
Yes.
Oh, speaking of which,
Happy Muse says, "Oh no."
Since we're talking about like we used to do the tavern within the tavern,
Yeah.
right? I made a drink I like to call the Fox.
Oh, it's very good.
What does it say?
I don't want to break people's ears because I know what a fox sounds like,
Oh.
and it's very
I mean, they make a lot of different noises.
and they're all high pitched
Yeah.
and shrill and
Squeaky.
ear bleeding. But no, it's it's a mimosa almost.
An all mimosa.
So you take some
It's
vodka,
Almosta. There you go.
2 shots of vodka, and then about 2 shots of dessert wine. I prefer Moscato d'Azzi, and then fill the rest of the glass with orange juice.
It's very
Mix
good.
it up.
What if I have a really tall glass?
Then it's just really orange juice-ish.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
a standard sized glass. I
Like a
would say.
cocktail glass.
Like a cocktail
Yeah.
glass, yeah.
Yeah.
Does
I
anyone
didn't know
want
those
gum?
standards.
I would like a piece of gum so I can
I
make
would, but that
loud
gum's a little
smacking.
extra.
I want to make loud smacking sounds in front of the microphone.
Make quiet smacking sounds in front of the microphone then.
It'll be the sound of Cleo being smacked by the players.
YouTube's
Wash, did you want
captions at the bottom are going to be like silent smacking.
I'm drinking this key lime sparkling water. So.
Oh, that's also what's in this.
Key
one.
lime
good,
is a vibe with the Wing Badger Tavern.
That's right.
We are pleased to consume the
It's
finest
very
key
sweet. Did you
lime
guys add a
beverages.
sweetener to it, or
No, it just is like
Cool.
it's a drink you can buy at the store.
cool?
Yeah, sparkling key lime water.
Prestidigitation.
Oh,
That
yeah.
likes it a little.
Obviously.
Yeah, it's just tap water.
Naturally, yeah.
Your tap water just naturally tastes like key lime pie.
Well, it does
Okay.
after prestidigitation.
This is a
used on
PSA.
it.
If your tap water tastes like naturally like key lime pie sparkling
There's
water,
either a wizard in your household or you might have brain cancer.
you might have a lot of issues.
or just one really serious issue.
One really serious issue.
I got Jake.
Jake's is over there dying.
Dying. It's so morbid. The thing that Lawrence said, because I'm just imagining this like, no, it's too dark. I'm sorry.
So anyway,
Yeah, make sure you
Imagine if
come back now.
Wash, basically, the short version is imagine if Wash saying that is how you found out you had a brain tumor.
Chad says what flavor corresponds to lead.
What is a lead taste
Graphite.
like? Does it taste? No, because iron has a taste.
So, dawn of the fourth day.
Okay. Come back now, everybody. If you're in chat, come back. We're getting back into it. Bring your ducks from
Get
the
up
park.
in a
in a row.
line.
Yeah. Go ahead, DM.
The sun begins climbing the horizon. You've been here for 3 days. 4 days remain until your estimated assault by the army at the base of the mountain. You've made some progress, but probably not enough yet on the airship. Radford and Mockery have convinced the Sunset House leadership that in fact there is going to be an attack and they should begin preparing. And they have requested that you help prepare the area, the battleground, for the oncoming army. That can look like a lot of things, so here's the way we're going to handle it. I'm going to briefly explain to the chat a mechanic that we came up with for a recent arc called Oceans. We named them that because Jake felt like they were kind of like Ocean's 11 and he thought they were cool. Basically, what Oceans do is they allow you to introduce a flashback to the adventure. So rather than having to actually prepare for things, which as we all know, D&D players don't really like doing,
Specifically
thinking
us.
ahead and
Absolutely
planning
not.
things. Instead, you can act like you planned ahead for something by having your Ocean's 11 flashback to when you did that preparation. An example might be Gunnar is standing on a boat and someone's going to come attack him, and Gunnar remembers, like, he triggers an ocean, and we flash back into the past when Gunnar set up a snare for that person on the boat so that they would step into it and be hoisted up among the rigging. And then we come back to real time, and now it happens, and there's a snare, and it goes up among the rigging. So they can make retroactive skill checks. So each ocean that someone has corresponds to one skill check in the past that they can do.
Good job.
So players who choose to have their character participate in the preparations per day, because it's an all-day task to help prepare, that character gains 2 oceans. So you can decide, you can divvy amongst yourselves who, assist in the preparations versus who works on the airship and all that kind of thing. But you gain 2 oceans per day that you work on preparing for the oncoming assault. And then you can decide during the assault what they are. So I'll narrate what the army is doing, and throughout that process, you can be like, but they didn't know, and, hit them with the skill check. Fox has a hand up.
Can I make preparations right now that are obvious, that are not considered oceans?
I guess you could.
The oceans could probably be utilized to do that thing.
Yeah, like you could
So-
still. I'm basically just trying to help not bog us down in a bunch of preparation.
I guess
things.
that makes sense.
The real
yeah.
otions were the preparations we made along the way.
Yes.
That's what
In
I've
a literal
always said.
sense.
I've said that multiple times in the past ever.
right.
This is definitely not.
It
the
is
first time
definitely
I've
a
heard it.
thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. So that would be
Great.
those things.
I would say Gunnar would like to be involved in the defense preparation while Alan stays working on the ship.
Yeah, I think Bruiser will stay on the airship.
Okay.
Jeb will stay with the airship.
Okay.
And Radford has already confirmed he is of no use near that airship, so he will be preparing.
Okay.
I think Fox is most likely going to try to help with the airship, but on days where he's not helpful, because you can only really, do menial tasks or give a servant to help with menial tasks, and I have to stay within range of it.
Okay.
And mending if that's helpful on those days, but any other day that it's not. So
Great. As you step outside, you've eaten your warm breakfast. Chat has flexed some channel points to change the weather. And so as you step outside, a loud crack of thunder announces that the blizzard is morphing into a little bit of a frozen thunderstorm. And the lightning strikes on this mountain made of ice. Like, there's not that much conductive. So the big piles of metal material that you're working with on the ship are just lodestones for strikes of lightning. And we're going to, throughout the day, probably have some rolls to avoid being struck by lightning as you work on this craft.
How much time would it take away from Alan for him to construct a lightning rod?
Oh, Bruiser was gonna ask
Oh,
to do that
yeah.
too.
Okay. Well, we
If
can work
both
together on it.
You could spend half the day on it, sure.
Okay, so we lose a half a day on us.
Yeah,
but
lose
we
a half a
would,
day
but
on
would
it.
we avoid the rolls?
Yes.
Okay,
You would
well, I
avoid
think
the
that's
rolls.
fine.
You would need
Yeah.
to roll at least one while you built the lightning rod, since you're building a thing to attract
Okay,
lightning.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
That's a danger point there.
Okay, but I think that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Then let's have each of you roll me one dexterity save to avoid a lightning bolt crashing down upon you as you work on.
Would the lightning bolt crashing down upon me be considered a thing I can see?
No, you can't see lightning before it strikes.
That's a 5.
23.
23. Okay. The no way. Chat is rolling for one of the players, and they did not specify who. So we're gonna give it to Owlin.
Roll better than a 5.
Chat rolled a
please.
nat 20.
Ooh.
Yo.
Chat rolled a nat 20. Owlin not only avoids the lightning bolt, he also pulls a monk off the lightning rod. Like, you kind of feel the air warm up. You feel that little tingle in the back of your neck. Owlin rips them away. Thank you, chat.
Thank you very much.
Rips them away from the lightning rod just in the nick of time as a lightning bolt crashes down. Ba-boom! And strikes on it. There's a big whoosh as snow and ice and dust flies up from the sonic concussion. Chat says you're welcome. And the hail begins falling with that first lightning strike. And so you're able to finish constructing it, but I do need a constitution save from everyone who stayed. Well, actually, everybody's here now. So everybody make a Constitution save to avoid taking hail damage. It's a save with a DC of 12, and the damage you'll take is 1d6, which you may roll yourself if you fail.
Wait, what did you say it was? Con?
Con.
I got
Not
11.
a dex?
No, not an 11. A 12, DC 12.
Yeah, no, I got it.
It's not dex.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Like, I could, like...
No, you are not going to dodge through all the
You get a
individual
Dark
hails.
Souls. Dark Souls.
No, you're definitely getting hit
I get-
by
I-
hail.
I get,
the
like,
question is, how well do you hold up
invincibility
under
frames,
repeated
right?
hailing?
Invincibility frames if I do a dodge roll?
Yeah.
Alan got like a 22. Got a 22.
Alan's fine.
But Gunner got a 7.
You
Okay.
said D6?
Yeah, D6 of damage.
Okay.
I tried chat.
Gunner's worst enemy is hail. It seems.
Bruiser
That's true.
takes-
Hail really does be getting him.
Bruiser takes 2 points of
I'm going to
hail
move that
damage.
roll out of the way of the chat window.
So does Jeb.
Oh,
Luckily, we had a long rest.
that's true.
A
did.
lawn rest?
On
a
the
long
lawn.
rest, yeah.
Yeah.
A long rest on the lawn. Everyone knows
We had to
about
touch
those.
grass.
Yeah. Okay, so today we get a half day's worth of progress on the things we're working on for Alan and Bruiser.
Yep.
And then we've got some preparations being made for others. So Alan and Bruiser, you are working on the airship. Which pieces are we working on today? Where are we advancing?
Alan is just going to keep going on the life support.
Great. Alan was doing really good yesterday. Let's go ahead and roll that Artificer Tools intelligence check to see how he does today.
He's going to re-roll using his Rod of Intelligence.
Okay.
Nat 20.
Nice. Nat 20. You finish.
Sweet.
Life support is up and running, and you can begin your next task today.
Great.
Alan basically is like, he got the lightning rod done. He's feeling all jazzed. He dodged that lightning bolt. The adrenaline's up. You know, he's ready to make stuff.
Chat, you did a good
With-
job passing
with
on that
the
luck.
Newfound metal from fabrication, and did we get any scrap metal from the?
Oh, yes. Now you have permission to get scrap metal. So,
Okay.
yeah, you can get the... And Jeb will
Can
help
I-
you just, like, in a pinch,
I was
you
gonna
know.
say, can I have my fabrication like give them advantage or like a plus
Sure.
something to
Yeah, we'll just give Bruiser advantage.
Oh, okay. I love that.
It's like for their stuff throughout the
Ooh,
day.
Even better. 18 plus 7 is what? 25.
25. Okay, make sure we're talking into your mic a little bit there.
25.
25. Okay, so Bruiser also does a great job today. Which system are you working on?
Propulsion.
Propulsion. Okay. You finish. You're making the thrusters at 45 degrees?
Yes.
Okay, so you finish the first thruster today, and you make a good amount of progress on the next one. So you think you could probably finish it tomorrow
Okay.
if you worked all day on it. Alan.
I say Alan is going to work on the electrical, but with the intent of like, this isn't, if I need to stop this and help someone else with something that they're falling behind on, I can do that. This is like a 20% that isn't necessary,
Yeah.
but I'm helping with.
As,
But I'm
as
doing it
Alan
anyways.
is thinking about like what to do next, the Mountain walks over with his huge like cockpit glass and
okay.
like holds it out to you, like it's
Yeah,
done.
Alan,
you know, it's ready.
Alan will try. We'll work on installing that then.
Okay, so the Mountain, this huge guy is able to just like hold it wherever you need it, like
Uh-huh.
no arms or anything necessary. He just like takes care of all the weight for you, so you can very precisely attach it.
Cool.
Roll Artificer Tools Intelligence with advantage because you're getting helped by another
Okay.
like master craftsperson.
That's a dirty 20 on the first roll. That's a 19. So dirty 20.
Okay. You are able to get all of the pieces in place. You just need tomorrow morning. You just need to come back and check all the tightness of the bolts and things
Cool.
like that. Make sure it'll work. But this thing is starting to come together. On the other side of things, we've got B Street and his. He's got a couple of people from the guild he's roped into helping him. They're trying to assemble the main body of the ship. So I'm going to roll for them now.
Does my mending help?
I'll give them advantage on behalf of your mending.
Just making sure all the little pieces fit together, basically.
I feel like Jeb has like set up like a little fabrication shop, like a
There you
little
go.
shed to the side,
Yeah,
so people come
yeah.
in like, "Hey, we need this," and he's like, "All right," and then they take it on out and do
With a
their thing.
17, they have
Yay.
basically taken the two halves of the ship and righted them and sort of rebuilt them into what they needed to be, so they're ready for like the rivets that Jeb's been helping them fabricate.
Great.
So those big metal beams are coming around. Now they just need to make that center like structure thing, and they've kind of come back to you, like the carpentry team are like, hey, if we think we found a way to make it like run the length of the ship and make it better, it'll just
Yeah.
take us one more day to get
And
that
Alan
done.
has drawn up like different diagrams of the stuff that he was shown by the rod.
Perfect.
For them to be able to reference.
Perfect. So that's what those folk are working on. Do we want to zoom in and have any kind of conversations for people, or do we want to just kind of power ahead to the next day?
I'm okay with the next day.
Yeah,
I think
next day.
everyone's just trying to keep busy and like just make this go as smooth as possible.
Great. I'm going to add the 6th tension die in for the passage of time.
Ooh.
That die is not a complication, but I do need to clear the pool every time we hit 6.
Ooh.
Gasp.
Gasp.
So
Chug, chug,
actually
chug.
gasping, we just say gasp. Gasp.
Oof. 3 complications.
Oh no.
We're going to add them together into one. The lightning strikes that you have so successfully avoided for yourselves, one of them, kaboom, hits the ship. And there is some level of damage to the wood. It's going to set back the structure by another day.
Dang.
So it was the next day to be finished. Now he needs 2 days to finish.
And how many more okay. If we finish it in 2 days, how many days does that leave us until the army gets here?
2, I think.
Okay. So
I
those
have
are
no
and
idea.
those
One,
are all
1 day.
So and that's that day would be dedicated to getting everyone on the ship, trying to get everything organized.
Well,
in that
yeah,
way.
so once the structure is finished, then you can attach the propulsion, the
Oh,
steering,
yeah,
and the
okay.
life support
All
systems.
right.
So
Fun.
that's what's
So we have
yeah.
one
So
day for
you're
that.
probably going to be evacuating during the assault.
Well,
is
that's
probably
fun.
what it's lining up to be.
Yeah. All right. That's why we're building the defenses up.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's why I got some people working on the defenses.
Yep.
So at the end of a nice, well-rounded day, everybody's eating some food in the guest house, kind of resting, taking care of things. You get a visit. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you had. We get a visit.
Yeah, you get a visit. So someone knocks on your door and you open it up, and the halfling member of the Solis, Sol Era, is there. She says, "Hello, may I come in?"
Yeah. This is your place in the end.
You are the guests in this guest house. And she like nods deferentially and then steps into the
Are
the
we all
house.
there?
She closes. Yeah, she
Okay.
closes
Okay.
the door behind her. You hear like kind of the distant sounds of the wind outside, but the howl dies away. And she sits down at the table and says, "We have begun the preparations that some of you've recommended as far as preparing our space for an assault. I am concerned about the logistics, and I was hoping that we could talk about the gravity of what we are undertaking at this point, because you are proposing to move an establishment that has been on the side of this mountain for a very long time for a good reason, and I think that it is a necessary divergence of our path, but I also think that to look at the Sunset House and see only a group of creatures is to perhaps underestimate the role that we have played in the history of the world. When we are talking about defending these people, there are no acceptable losses. We are the guild that act as judges in the world. When disputes need moderating, it is a member of the Society of the Silver Sky who comes in and arbitrates justice. When the records of the world need to be consulted, we have the unblemished, unaltered records of the behavior of leadership through all of history. We have 3 eras of history documented in our library, and I think that it's important to preserve all of that. And so I just wanted to bring to your attention the gravity of what we are doing here. Does that make sense?
I have an idea. Obviously, I don't think we can fit everything that's here on the ship. Right, the
Alan
books
did
and
the
everything.
math, you know?
We can fit everyone who is here on the ship. However, we will only be able to fit essentially what is most important, or a small fraction of the books, for example, that are here on the ship. The weight capacity does not go much further than that, and also the space capacity does not go much further than that.
But what if we make it not worth their while to get inside?
What do you have in mind?
Well, they're probably sieging this place because they're looking for the avatars
Or the rods.
or the rods. If we make it clear that neither are here, and we make it feel like hell just to get in, they would rather just abandon it rather than sack some building that has nothing of value to them. I mean, the only other thing I can think of is if they're really that desperate to cleanse the records, which they, knowing what the Aboleths want to do, they might want to, but if we can just make it impenetrable, maybe just, I don't know. You get what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with
Well,
this?
something that Jeb and we were all there when we talked to Thraxenhow. Our goal is to, when we escape, make a pass at them to lob some some explosives at them, make that something that slows them down, as well as Thraxenhow has agreed to, on the signal of those explosives, fight against the army, come out and prove it from his perspective, prove that he cannot be
I guess
stopped by an army such as this.
I'm suggesting more of a scorched earth policy.
I agree, and something else that we could utilize to do that is you have that bridge to get here, and I know that bridge is probably something very sacred to you. However, I could essentially rig it to go away and make the only way back here to be by flight, essentially, which we will have the airship.
Well, the only thing is, a lot of the things I think of we can do can be conquered with time, right?
True.
If we can somehow hide your library, create a vault of some sort, and seal it beyond even your own reach, maybe that can at least guarantee that it's safe.
I mean, I don't even think it needs to be like so impenetrable. I think it just needs to be hidden enough where they don't see it on their initial pass through.
Who knows?
They aren't going to spend a crazy amount of time looking for things.
That library, if you're right, and it's an unblemished record of the past, of eras, multiple eras, the Abelis might want that as a way to make sure no one has information that contradicts their own when they take over as the new world order.
Garlil told us that the Eos Lore Foundation tower fell. That makes this not just an unblemished record, it makes it the only unblemished record.
That is correct, and I believe that, like you were saying, this may very well be a part of their target, and I think that something along the lines of what you were saying, Fox, as far as either locking it away or what Gunnar was saying, as far as just making it just completely time consuming to get here. To
I
where
suggest
they're
both.
Yes, both would be
Both.
great, because then they are utilizing time and resources to do their basically. Then their efforts would be divided. They would have to spend a lot of time and a lot of resources to find this knowledge and the library, and that could perhaps weaken them in other areas.
Do have an idea. What if we can convince Thraxenhow to hold on to these books?
He's not gonna hold on to these books.
I mean, he might take them as his hoard. You just won't be able to get them back.
He's. I don't.
I mean, that's
don't
what's
think
tough is, when we were there, you talked about knowledge being some sort of prize or valuable. He seemed pretty opposed to that idea. He wanted just jewels and
I still
gold.
think it's worth giving a shot, because if it's in his hoard or at least near it, right? Like, it's one of the safest places on this
Okay.
mountain.
DM. Can
Yes.
I interrupt for a second?
Yeah, sure.
In the time that has gone by, I think Jeb on his lunch break, maybe like in a little bit of time before going to bed during these couple days, he's been trying to work out the potential purpose of those big steel tubs. Because
Okay.
he's very curious if there's some sort of arcane thing going on. Because while this conversation's happening, my thought is maybe they're just going to do something to the whole mountain. Like if they're setting up a field around this, or if they are going,
Right.
when he heard them talking about the Book of Divergent Paths, and they said that the mountain isn't erupting, it's not on fire. Maybe this is a prophetic thing, and what they're doing will trigger that. Is there any sort of arcane inclination that he can can he flip through his grandpa's journal and find comparisons, like spell components? Normally you would set these out at certain perimeters from each other to kind of give some sort of effect. Like, is any of that coming together? It's probably gonna
roll Arcana with disadvantage, and the
Okay.
DC is pretty high.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And I'll
Anybody
give you.
who got anything for me? You got a fancy inspirational tune or
And I'll
Yep.
give you the option also of if this doesn't work, you could spend the next day researching in the library and seeing if you could learn more about ancient magics. And like this is a record of what's
Right.
happened in the world, so there's going to be arcane stuff in there.
Okay.
There might be something to learn that could give
Maybe
you
I could get
advantage.
Moxie to help me. out. She
You
knows
might
the
even be
library.
able to find some like spells or something in there too, like in their library.
Hey.
You know, like it might be worth looking. So
Hey, okay. All right.
Fox will pull out his sax and give him a bardic inspiration of.
How much is that?
He's level 3.
It's a D6.
That's a D6 Cerrone, the San Francisco treat. It's a 9 plus 2 plus 12. So 11 plus 12 is 23.
23, you are not able to recall or come
Okay.
up with anything that might have like. I mean, they're
It's a long shot because he's like
Yeah.
he's just going off of memory
and they're
and pulling
500 foot
loose
cast
threads
iron
together.
tubs. Like, what spell has a 500 foot cube as one of its material components?
It's got to be something like, but that's what he's thinking. It's like, what he's thinking, what spell has 5 foot cubes as the components
Sure.
on a smaller scale that they're magnifying,
Or
out.
5-inch.
Yeah, or whatever. Okay, well, I'll try it tomorrow, but I really think that is what is important to them right now. They're not
Yes.
they're not going up. You know, Radford said when he was down there, he killed a couple of them. They didn't follow him up through the Darkwood. They're working to get these things into position. There's something about them.
Yes, that is interesting. I think one other thing that I was thinking of while you were thinking there and everything, I know that it is a gamble. However, if Thraxenhow is true to his word, then technically we have nothing to worry about as far as them reaching the library. If Thraxenhow is able to come out and show a show of force at the point that he says he will, if we believe in kind of the legends of his power, then he should be able to wipe out this
I mean,
army.
maybe the cubes are for him.
I'm going to be
Another
honest.
potential.
I was kind of talking him up. I'm very concerned that they are very much prepared to deal with him.
Yeah.
Those cubes probably have something to do with it. And honestly, I think Jeb's on the right idea here. I
What
definitely
about
think those cubes
Soul
have
Era
something.
kind of speaks up. She's been listening and taking in all of your thoughts, and she says, "What about if you could learn more about those cubes before you attempted to study their purpose? You said that some of you can fly, right? Which doesn't help in the evacuation. It doesn't get your
Yeah.
party up here. But at 500 feet tall, you could use the cover of the storm to fly onto one of those cubes and likely not be detected, or at least have a significant advantage against the night sky. You know, you wear dark clothing. Your winter wrappings are fairly dark, and perhaps you could get a chance to look at them."
I mean, I can do that. It's just the airship will get delayed unless someone else can take over working on propulsion.
Honestly, I'm
steering.
afraid if Jeb's right, the airship's not going to matter.
I can't go on my own. I would have to bring somebody with me who has magic.
I don't have magic,
Oh.
but I can fly.
I have magic, but I cannot fly.
I could make you fly, but only for an hour.
Let me go, because I feel like at the very least you're going to be more important to getting things done here.
I can attempt to fill in for you. Well, no, Bruiser's not good. Well,
If Bruiser were to go, recall that he does not have a hover speed. He can't end his turn in the air, so he can only fly in 60-foot
gotcha. Well, then
bursts.
while you two, I think that makes the most sense. Then that Fox and Jeb would go and investigate while we continue to work on the airship. Gunner continues to set up defenses.
Another question: let's say the airship matters, we get it working, we get people on. Where are we going with it? Like, is there a sanctuary we can go to?
Honestly, the air is going to be our safest bet just for now. I mean,
You mean you don't have a destination? Soul Era appears to be realizing for the first time that you didn't know where you were going to go in the airship.
So the thing is our destination is in the sky, but it's mobile.
We have to
Kay's
find
ship is drifting. It's moving.
You intend to search for the final avatar.
We
Yes.
do.
If we were to drop the rest of you off,
Wait a
of-
minute.
from the.
I know you probably have not. I just now connect the dots. Have any of you were able to cast magic before the darkening?
A handful of us, yes.
They should be able to cast magic as long as they're near me or Alan.
It's true. I've witnessed it.
I cast prestidigitation.
Yeah, she just like, how
Like-
is this possible?
Long story.
Try to make it short.
It is because of the pieces of the rod of
that I
7
I
parts.
pull out my rod of
We are
charisma.
attuned to different segments.
She looks at like literally taking in the stuff of legend, right? You have how many pieces of this rod do you possess?
We have
We-
all 7.
6.
We have 6, and one of our allies,
Oh.
Udril, has the 7th.
Jeb reaches into his pocket. I've got the rod. Wait a minute. Where's the rod of luck?
Do you not have it?
What
No,
happened?
I
to
don't.
it?
It was on me. I was trying to attune to it.
Did you leave it in your room?
I don't think so.
This is not something you just leave around.
No, I had it on my person. So a funny thing happened. I saw the rod of luck fly towards a guard when I was out scoping things at the base of the mountain, and I got it,
Lucky
and he
guard.
pulls it out. But this thing is very fickle. Whatever we're gonna do with it, we need to do this quick, because this could fly away from us at a moment's notice.
Even as Radford is holding it, he kind of feels that like I
Yeah.
kind of want to roll some dice, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We have not, none of us have successfully attuned to it yet, so perhaps once one of us attunes to it, that chance of it leaving
I
Goes
mean,
away.
just
could either go away or
it
minimize.
seems like every time Jeb's tried, it's only hindered him for about an hour.
Something like that.
This might be something that's worth brute forcing.
I mean, we could all try until one of us gets it. Who isn't attuned to the rod?
We are done with work for the day, so if all of us became blind suddenly tonight, we could sleep it off.
Yeah.
I will post a guard. And Sol Era kind of steps out of your guest
Wait,
house and goes
Solera.
to fetch a guard. Yes.
Please, if you can make note of who's able to cast magic and what spells they can cast, they may be helpful in defending or even figuring out with these cubes, like if we can get somebody to come with us or something. I don't know.
Or repairing the
I will
airship.
check through our records.
Thank you.
And one more thing, what I was going to offer earlier, but got sidetracked a little bit. If you and the other members of the Society of the Silver Sky feel as though you need to be dropped off immediately after we escape, as we kind of mentioned before, Gaim would be a safe place for us to take you. It's one of the only safe places we know at the moment.
Understood. Thank you.
Perfect.
And she bows respectfully to everyone, including Radford, and leaves. Walks out to go and do. A few minutes go by while you're all kind of sitting there, and you hear footsteps, like walking up in the snow outside. A little knock on your door. Sleep tight in there, little blind ones. I will watch the door. And you hear like kind of Mockery's form lean back against your door, and you hear the solid thunk of a spear, kind of like
Okay.
resting on the ground there.
All right.
All right.
All right. Well,
Let's do this luck.
yeah.
Okay.
Your turn, Jeb.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add a die to the tension pool every time you fail this roll.
Okay.
Okay. Jeb's gonna go for it.
Jeb's going for it.
Come on, gamblers dice. You've gotten me into so much trouble. It's time
Wait, are
to
you
get me out.
proficient with Gambler's Dice?
Oh yeah.
Did you get
It's
to roll
his-
twice for that?
No.
Oh.
He just rolls 2d6.
It's just
Great luck.
I'm a gambler. That's my background. A 2 and a 3.
Struck blind for an hour. I'm gonna add a die to the tension pool.
Bruiser, would you like to try?
Sure. Bruiser takes the rod,
Bruiser takes the rod, feels the urge to roll some dice.
grabs some dice. Come on. 5 and a 3.
5 and a 3. Boom, struck blind for an hour.
Well, I'm not exactly looking forward to being struck blind, but
Here you go, Gunner.
it's worth a try. All right. 5 and a 2.
5 and a 2, struck blind for an hour.
I mean, to be
Third
fair,
die
I
in the
could-
tension pool.
I could arm a bomb blindfolded if I wanted to.
Actually, can I use your plastic die?
Oh.
The wind
Don't
carries
trust
the
the
howl of a wolf.
Don't trust the metal with this light into luck.
Does
howlable wolf
does
carries.
do we know if is it possible to be attuned to two parts of the rod at once?
We don't.
Nobody's looked into it or asked.
Okay. Could Alan do an Arcana check to see if he remembers anything about that?
Sure.
Okay.
He has
I'll
time
wait.
to think.
I'll wait for that.
Are you sure? You sure you don't want to roll? I'll add another die to the tension pool then, as we
Oh,
increase
that's
the
only
tension.
a 9. That's not a very good roll.
Alan doesn't think he's ever heard about it, and as far as I know, you really haven't asked at the
Okay.
table.
5 and a 4.
5 and a 4, struck blind for an hour.
Well,
I guess I could give it a go.
There are
go
6
for it.
of you and 6 die in the tension pool. like 2 more to go.
Yeah.
3 and a 5.
3 and a 5, blind for an hour.
Oh,
well,
You're the last one,
it
Alan.
comes to me, I guess. If I could borrow someone's d6, I have one of my own. I will borrow this one.
Come on.
A 6 and a 1.
6 and a 1, blind for an hour.
Well, that was unproductive.
Well, we wait an hour and try again, maybe.
I'm going to clear the tension pool.
Yes, I guess that would be the
makes sense.
thought process.
Carry on.
Well,
All right. Well,
You
wow,
wait.
okay.
We really are brute forcing it?
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
I mean, like in this dire of a situation, if the consequence is
Yeah.
only an hour,
Here
I
we
mean,
go.
theoretically though, I mean, mechanically,
2 and a 1.
Blind for an
Failing.
hour.
is also giving us
Loser
bad
next.
luck because you keep adding tension die, which can be considered bad luck, but we don't know that yet.
6 and a 4.
Blind for an hour.
one of us needs to roll duplicates at some point.
I don't even know if it's dupes. It could be
I-
snake eyes.
I
or
think it's dupes. You got it, Fox.
6 and a 2.
Blind for an hour.
All right.
I need a button that says blind for an hour.
It's bound to happen at some
Staples.
point, right?
That was easy.
If we're lucky.
If it's gonna be someone, a 1 and a 6.
Blind for an hour.
Damn.
Straight to jail.
Straight through jail.
All right. Let's go. Sorry. It's me. Wrong voice. 1 and a 2.
Blind for an hour.
Okay. I will try this again.
Ooh.
A 3 and a 2.
Blind for an hour. As you move into your second hour of blindness, the night approaches midnight, and that original howl that you heard carrying on the wind is joined by more.
Well,
Mark? Is that
Yes?
is everything okay out there?
The always howl is probably nothing.
All right. Round 3.
Okay.
Surprised.
I will say we
Alright,
must
yeah.
make sure that we do have enough rest tonight.
Jeb rolled 2 3s.
2 3s. Jeb, you are struck blind for about a minute and a half. You think it hasn't worked,
Oh.
and then
All right,
as
pass the
your vision
die.
fades back in, you start to see possibilities instead of things. So, like, as you look towards the door, you can almost visualize what it would be like to trip through the door and what it would be like to open the door correctly. And yeah, go ahead.
Is there a bit of a chromatic aberration, like the way that Jeb bends time to unwind things through different possibilities?
Yes, there's just a
different
little
possible-
bit of aberration, little bit of distortion in the world around him. It's almost like he's looking at what probably the Sunset House would call diverging paths in front of him.
Jeb, are you okay?
I see everything, and it's kind of cool.
I
In
thought you were
Jeb's hands,
blind.
the mithril arrowhead has begun glowing a pearlescent blue along runes that weren't there originally. It was just mithril. Now there are runes along the side of it, and as you rotate it, there are 3 sides to this arrowhead, and each of them is a different name that Jeb has called himself. So
Really?
what would those be? What are names Jeb has gone by? They could be nicknames. They could be significant names to him.
Let me pull up
Probably
the,
Cheese is one of them, right? That's what his cousin calls him.
I was gonna say, let me pull up the wiki because I believe.
Oh.
Well, he went by. So Cheese would be one of them.
Yeah.
Jeb
Okay.
would be another. But there was his. What was his cousin's? Pebbles.
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 That's right. So it says Pebbles, Cheese, and Jeb are inscribed on the side in kind of a glowing blue. Oh yeah, Flip
Yeah.
is another name he's
Flip
gone
Top, I think it was.
by. And I think Box at some point
yeah,
was his,
box.
but you just have those first 3 because there's only 3 sides on the arrowhead.
Mm-hmm.
So those are on the sides. And as you sit there taking it in, you hear out front, hang on, I think that maybe we need to, and then you hear the paw prints
We're coming.
or the paw steps of galloping wolves.
We're blind. Well, no.
Some
wait.
of you are blind.
No,
Whoever. No, was
because
this the first of
Jeb-
this round?
Jeb was the first one.
Nice.
Wow.
None of you
Oh,
are blind.
how
inc-
lucky.
I was
How
going to
lucky.
say how incredibly lucky. As these wolves come racing towards the guild
Oh,
hall.
we should put our minis where they are.
Yes.
Yeah, put your minis on the table. It's combat time, baby.
We would be able to that size.
Yes.
I'll be back with you shortly, Chad. I need to get some minis on there.
Mini time.
Mini, mini,
Well,
mini, mini,
at least
mini,
we're all
mini,
not-
mini,
Jeb
mini,
is
mini, mini,
back,
mini,
baby.
mini, mini.
At least we're
That actually, thematically, that makes sense for Jeb too.
it does.
Yeah,
The gambler.
all the game. Yeah,
Oh,
It's all coming together.
it is all coming together.
all coming together.
Surprised it took that long to get doubles.
You know, right?
That just
know.
shows you how probability works.
I know.
I wish I could hear what Josh was saying.
Yeah, I wish. I wish.
Josh,
I could
can
hear
you
what
get
the
closer
DM's
to the
saying.
mic?
Yeah, can you
We
get?
can't hear you.
Sorry, that's my bad. That's my bad.
Has Chad said anything?
You could pull up chat on your phone, I guess.
I could.
Good talk.
There was
Jake's
an
is
old
right
man
there.
named Michael
Chad said
Fonagas.
A finally when we got the doubles.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah,
spend
we-
all night rolling dice.
That'd be
being
No, we
blind.
need
that
the
is
long
the point
rest.
of D&D.
Oh, yeah.
We need the long.
Oh,
rest.
Josh, does the fatigue that Jeb had from the mental thing go away with the long rest? Okay.
And deadly combat, both of them.
Oh. Chat, you're like, now that you've earned the rod, it's time for you to show that you can use it.
True.
Deadly combat just means no healing while in initiative, right?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
and hit harder means double damage.
Oh, those are big guys.
Oh, we got both deadly combat and hit harder.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
I'm ready to die. You ready to die?
I think we're gonna win.
This week on Ready to Die.
Oh, this is gonna be tough.
That would be a good podcast name.
I think
This
it's a-
week
I think,
on Bottom Gear.
I think it was like a. I think it was like a show, like an
Bottom
old show.
Gear.
Because I know it from
This
there's a
week on
sample
Pickle
in a
Bottom.
Drake song where it's like this week on Ready to Die, and I
Oh,
think it was a
interesting.
show.
Interesting.
Wow, chat, you went hard with the rewards there. Okay, hit harder 10 minutes, deadly combat 10 minutes. The time is 7:08 for the next 10 minutes. Double damage, cannot restore HP while in initiative order.
Oh dear.
There are 3 wolves rushing towards you. One is slightly smaller than the other 2, but they are rushing towards you. I would like everybody to roll initiative.
Ooh.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
And it feels so good.
Ooh, Jeb rolled good.
22.
I got a 20 for Jeb.
22.
Let me know when you want my initiative rolls.
Oh, chat's at it again. Aura of Destruction. All AoE effects are doubled for the next 10 minutes.
All
Jeb
the combat.
What are you
Loves
doing?
you to pieces right now.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Let me check my.
Okay,
Spells?
sorry, 20 and up.
Jeb is a 20.
And Fox had a 22, I think. 15 to
20.
20.
Radford has a 16. Sorry,
Uh,
8. No, never mind. Radford's
Bruiser
an 8.
got a 16.
Bruiser got a 16. 10 to 15.
13 for Owlin.
13 for Owlin. Chat's at it again. Cleo rolls all GM rolls for the next 10 minutes.
Nice.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Yeah, you'll find out.
Is that for 10 minutes or for the whole night? That's for 10 minutes. Okay. 5 to 10s.
A 9 for Radford.
9 for Bruiser. Not Bruiser, Gunner.
Gunner.
I mixed it up myself.
It's Bruiser and not Bruiser.
0 to 5s. Oh, no, that's everybody. Okay, and then I'll roll for the wolves here real quick.
Gunner's
They're all one.
dexterity bonus
All right.
is +2. What's Radford's?
This camera a little too far away, so I'm going to use
+5.
the other
Okay,
camera.
so Radford goes first.
Hello there, chat. I don't know if you can see my face and talk at the same time, so there. But I'm going to show you a card. I only have one spell that has AoE.
The camera that gets your face is over here, Cleo.
Yes, but I want to
Okay.
show them something that they can read. Can they read this? Is it focusing?
That camera
no, they
doesn't have
can't.
autofocus.
No, it's very fire.
As normally a range.
Oh, chat's at it again.
But they do.
Trevor is the designated roller for the players for this combat.
What have you done for us?
What have you done, Chad?
You blessed
The
us and then
chat
cursed
giveth
us.
and the chat taketh away. This is an intense 10 minutes we're in for.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, let me
everything.
just put all of my
we-
dice away.
Yeah, everybody just put all that stuff away.
Should we
You could
reset
give
the
me your
timer then
D20s.
for everything once the actual initiative
Yeah,
starts?
I'll start it once combat really starts.
Just give me all your dice sets, and I'll roll
So,
the appropriate dice.
So this
There's
is
a
a pretty
Radford dice and a Jeb dice.
this is a pretty
and
dense combat chat. We've got like 6 combatants on the
need
party
one for
side
DMing.
and 3 enemies who are present. So at the end of each round, I'm going to do another word picture for our Spotify and Audible listeners of like what's actually happening,
Very
just so you
good.
kind of know that's coming. That is the way of things. This combat begins. Oh, sorry, I need to make sure I have one more note pulled up for myself here. Come on, buddy.
I feel like I need to stand up at some point
Why?
and shout.
to move our minis.
Yeah, it is going to be tough because I'm way over here, so I can't move the wolves. But that's okay.
you just tell me where you
yep,
want 'em
that's what I
moved.
was going to say.
Yeah.
I'll kind of communicate to our players down there at the.
Communication.
It also help you
is
describe how
key.
they're moving to the audio listeners.
I sure can. Yep, and that's a good reminder for our players to make sure you treat it as though we can't see the map,
I'm
just
going
in
to
case we
blow
can't.
my nose real quickly before this starts.
All right.
Good.
So just to give a reference, we all stormed out of the building like shoulder to shoulder in a row of 3x2, and the wolves are a little to our left. Only about the first 2 are only like 10 feet away, I would say, according to
Can you
this
use,
board.
Can you use chess terms? Can you do like A through and then like 1 through and then just
Sure.
like
Is
I'm gonna
columns?
hand- hang on, I'm gonna hand
from
one mini
A7
down.
to B2.
I'm going to hand one mini down to act as mockery.
Oh, okay.
It's not. We don't actually
Almost
have a mockery
brought a
mini,
tiefling
but
for mockery.
that's okay. But yeah, so we have a mini down there to act as mockery. She's in front of the group, basically. So anywhere at the front of the line, because she was out there already
So-
defending.
We have a wolf at A5.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, please don't.
Get out of here with that. There are 3 wolves. The leading wolf is a little bit smaller than the other 2. But there are 3 wolves who are rushing into combat here. And so as we step forward and combat begins, we kick things off with Fox. Sorry,
Okay.
before we do that, I just
Yeah.
need to remind chat. I give my players 60 seconds to tell me what they're doing in their turn. As long as they've started, then they can finish. But if they don't tell me within 60 seconds what's happening, then they take the dodge action for that turn. And it's basically, I mean, it's hard to think fast in combat. So sometimes if you don't think fast enough, you just take a little time to size up your bad guys. So they would take the dodge action and we'd move on. That's how we keep things moving, even though there's a buttload of us. So 3, 2, 1, go for it.
All right. I'm going to move Fox about towards center,
Okay.
towards the bridge. So I'm going to run from our guest house and stand in front of the bridge, right about there, a little closer to the wolves. I don't want to be that close to the edge. And I'm going to cast Fairy Fire. Normally, it's a 20-foot cube,
But it's doubled.
to a
it's double
40-foot
because
cube
of-
because of you, chat.
Yep.
And that, I believe, should barely encompass all 3 wolves if I center it on
Yes,
that.
it does look correct to encompass all of them. So they are all outlined by fairy fire.
They get a deck save.
It is a violet fire erupts and outlines them in the blizzard.
Do they get a
Um,
deck save?
I don't know. Let me read this. Any creature in the area, blah, 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 blah. Yes. Okay, they do have to roll a dexterity saving
Leo
throw.
rolls that, doesn't she?
Oh, Cleo's doing all
Okay,
of my
there you go.
rolls. Cleo does my rolls and Trevor does all your rolls.
Yeah,
I'm
great.
rolling 3 d20s.
I'll put my dice back.
They're trying to beat a spell DC save of 16. We got a 5 and a 6 on the die. I doubt those pass.
Nope.
But a 12 on the die.
12 on the die. This is a deck save?
Yeah.
No, it does not pass.
All right, so they're all outlined in a violet fire erupting all around them. Harmless, but very easy to see.
And we all get
Daddy,
advantage.
that's his username.
It's true.
Got him.
So,
Fairy
You are
Fire gives
easy
us
to see.
advantage on attack.
Easy on the eyes, one might
yes,
say.
it gives advantage.
Okay.
And that brings us to Jebediah's turn in the initiative order.
Jeb is high on life right now. he locks the end of the spear into the section where it would fit into Big Boy.
So now it's like a bayonet.
It's like a bayonet on the front of Big Boy.
That's sweet.
And he is going to lob I swapped out lightning bolt for fireball
Ooh.
And he's like, it's been a long time, guys. And he's just gonna like plunk Big Boy down in the ground, almost like a mortar, and just like boom. And he's just gonna set it like back out here, like off behind them enough for them to just like get all of them in there.
So he is hitting them all with the fireball,
Yes.
with this double AOE
Yep,
fireball
just
that does double damage.
Lobs it. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Yep.
Do they get saves for half damage? Right.
They get dexterity saves.
Cleo,
against-
3 dexterity saves.
Gotta
Sure.
beat a 16.
Okay.
We got a nat 20,
That one definitely passes.
a 3, and a 9.
Okay. The nat 20
You want to
passes.
assign like the colors to each wolf?
Sure. Red wolf is in the front. Green wolf is
Not gonna survive.
Yeah, green wolf's in the middle, and
Trevor's gonna
whatever
roll
else
the
he has at the
damage.
back. Whatever the
Blue.
other color. Blue wolf is at the back.
Okay. Well, blue wolf got the nat 20.
Okay, blue wolf got the nat 20 and
Do
is
you
fine.
need D6s?
How many do I need?
16.
Holy cow.
I have some, but
They only
Here's
take half
6,
damage, right?
7.
Here's 6.
Even if they pass, they still take half damage, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they
Here's
are
8.
6,
screwed.
7, 8.
This is
Okay,
14.
I got
Here's 2 more.
16. I got 16.
Okay, you got him.
Chat. Way
Take
to
it.
make
You-
this.
I'm
just
happy to give this
devastating.
roll to you, Trevor.
Yeah, this is.
All right, chat. Low on the dice.
Oh no!
I can't believe you just dropped all this.
All right,
dice.
chat. You need to not blow that hard.
That's right.
Yeah,
Way
chat
too
blew
hard,
really
chat.
hard on
Chill
the
out, chat.
dice.
Was that all of them?
Way too hard.
Cool down. Cool it.
14. 2 more.
2 more.
16. All right, chat. Calm your lungs.
Calm your lungs.
Cool your jets, chat. Come on.
I want a shirt with a black and white picture of Trevor that says "Calm your lungs."
Okay.
Do you have room
Yeah.
in your dice tray for all those dice?
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
All right, call them out.
Yeah,
We'll
call
add
them out. We'll add them.
3,
6.
4.
Oh,
Sorry, 3, 4,
3, 4. Okay, 7,
3,
10,
10,
1,
11,
4,
15,
2,
16,
17,
3,
20,
3,
23,
6,
29,
3,
32,
32,
3,
35,
35,
6,
41,
41,
1,
42,
5,
47,
48, 47,
4,
51,
51,
3.
54.
54 damage. Okay, so we have 2 failures: front wolf and middle wolf. Front wolf dies. Roasted toast, double its own hit points in negative. Front wolf is gone. Just a charred carcass on the ground.
A charcass.
That's
if you
the
will.
smaller wolf, the white wolf. The middle wolf. Remind me the number again.
54.
54.
54. Middle wolf is still alive. Its pelt flaming and charred, embers kind of all around it. It
It
is
looks like
still
a
alive.
naked mole rat.
Not quite naked mole rat. It's like a scattered mole rat, if
Okay,
you will.
okay.
And the remaining fire kind of winks out as the falling snow and the mist kind of puts it out. It is heavily bloodied and charred. It is not doing so great. The wolf in the back sees the fireball coming and ducks out of the way intelligently. So if we just move it like 10 feet closer to Fox, basically, like it's kind of getting out of the range there. It kind of leaps out of the way and just skids to a stop with its nat 20. That wolf snaps. And
It didn't take any damage.
it didn't take any damage.
Should take half damage.
On a nat 20? Sure, I'll give it half
Oh,
damage.
No,
That's
nat
fair.
20. Nat,
That's your
no,
call.
in the past we've done it. Nat 20 takes no damage. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Keep
That's
that.
fair. I
Yeah.
didn't think about that.
So it snaps its teeth together and it's going to barrel towards Fox because it's its turn next. Yes?
Oh, I just wanted to give a shout out to Miss Glorious Pugs over there, who was doing the math a lot faster than any of us at the table.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's her profession.
yeah, my wife, the mathematician.
Yeah.
So
Math magician.
the dire wolf kind of snaps its teeth, or not dire wolf, winter wolf. That's what I'm trying to say. The winter wolf snaps its teeth, gnashes, and then sprints towards Fox. It doesn't need to take the dash action to get there, but it's going to rush towards Fox.
Can I roll?
I like that the mini. Fox's
Unfortunately,
mini is, like,
not
actively stabbing
There's
it.
nothing to roll here yet. But it is going to attempt to multi-attack you. So as it rushes towards you, it's going to use its cold breath. Exhale a blast of freezing wind in a 15-foot cone that only hits Fox.
Yep.
You need to succeed on a dexterity
So Trevor needs to
saving throw.
succeed
Yep.
on-
DC 12 dex save for Fox.
Okay. Add 9 to whatever you roll.
I rolled a 3.
So that's
So
12.
12.
12.
Attacker wins in a
DC
tie,
12.
though.
Yep, attacker wins in the tie.
I still take half damage.
Fox takes 4d8 damage. Go ahead and roll it on my behalf.
4d8.
Yeah, 4d8.
But half it. Yeah.
Okay, I got 1. Okay, that's a 1, 2, 6, 1. That's 10 damage.
That's 10 damage.
half.
5.
Yep, so you take 5 cold damage.
Okay.
As you take that 5 cold damage, the wolf leaps into you. Because it's got enough of a lead up to its attack, it gets to roll this attack with advantage, Trevor. It's a melee weapon
Cleo
attack
rolls.
+6.
Cleo rolls.
You're right. Cleo rolls. You're
Melee-
rolling for me.
Why does it get advantage?
Because it sprinted towards you. It built up a charge.
Okay. Okay, gotcha.
These darn winter wolves.
D20 with advantage +6.
15 plus 6.
Does that hit?
definitely
21.
hits.
Okay, so it hits Fox with its jaws, snaps shut, take 11 points of piercing damage, and you need to succeed on a strength saving throw of DC 14.
Add a 1 to whatever you roll.
That's a 10.
That's a 10.
11.
11. The strength saving throw is DC 14. Fox is knocked prone and back 10 feet by the wolf, which is grappling him. So the wolf goes with him.
Okay.
Latched onto
how
him
much
with its,
damage was
with
that
its
again?
fang. You took 11 points of piercing damage.
11.
And that wolf is over there snarling, doing its thing. This brings us to the next turn in initiative order, which is Bruiser.
Bruiser's gonna run
Get this thing off of
to
me!
the one in front of us.
Okay. Bruiser ignores the one on top of Fox and runs to the other one.
Yeah. And then he is going to rapier attack.
Okay, rapier attack.
With advantage.
Yeah, so you roll to hit with advantage.
15 and a 14, so I'm pretty sure that'll hit. That's going to be...
That hits.
Okay.
The AC to beat is 13.
And since it's advantage, we're also going to get sneak attack. Which is an extra 6d6.
High level rogues are amazing.
I know.
They are.
Okay.
Imagine not taking levels in Bard.
You guys are so lucky that Jeb successfully attuned and that you were all able to see for this encounter.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
That would
doing
be
it blind?
insane.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Can people do math for me?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay. 6,
Yep.
6,
Yep.
12,
4,
Yep.
16,
1,
17,
17,
2,
19,
3,
22,
22,
8,
30,
plus 3.
33.
33. Yep,
33. Describe the killing blow.
So, Bruiser just starts...
In the mic.
Sorry. Bruiser just starts running up to this, and he draws his rapier as he's running, and he just leaps with his wing, like takes off,
Oh, yeah.
and just goes right through it.
Love that. Just spears right through it. This thing is singed. It kind of freezes up for a second and then falls over to its side as Bruiser knocks it over with his momentum. That brings us to the next turn in initiative order, which is Mockery. Mockery is going to go to the wolf on top of Fox and attempt to fling it off with her spear. So Mockery is going to roll a strength check,
Cleo.
which Cleo will roll on my behalf. And the strength is just a +1 for Mockery.
13.
Okay, so that's
13.
a 14. And
No,
that is
no, sorry. I added it for you.
Oh,
12
okay.
on the die.
13 total.
Yeah.
And Trevor, you're rolling
Yep,
for me.
I'm rolling.
Okay, you're rolling both sides of this. Now roll the strength check from the Winter Wolf to ignore, basically.
No, Winter Wolf, strong.
Winter Wolf strong. Okay,
Winter Wolf
she
strong.
tries to pry it off with her spear, but she can't make any headway as far as that goes. And that concludes Mockery's turn and brings us to Owlin.
So Owlin is going to move to this wolf.
Owlin goes rushing over to the bridge to help.
And he is going to rage. And when he rages, this storm has been above this place for several days.
Yeah.
But as he rages, you see some of the cloud from above literally sift down and collect around him in a 10-foot radius. And as this happens, as his wings, his ethereal wings sprout, and he raises his scimitar of speed up into the air, a bolt of lightning comes down and hits the wolf as he rages.
Let's go. Does the wolf get any kind of save for half damage?
Yeah,
or does it
it
just
does
take
have a save for half damage, a DC 15 Dex save.
Cleo?
17 on the
So
die.
it does pass.
Okay.
But I'm going to
So it's
still
going to take half damage.
How much?
Oh, you have to roll it. Haha. A D6.
Just one?
Just one.
Okay. 6.
So 3 damage, 3
Okay.
lightning damage. And then Alan is going to do his double attack with the Scimitar of Speed. So
Great.
2 D20 rolls, both
Natural
of them.
20?
Oh, let's go.
Natural 20, add the 2 D6 and the crit pool on top of your crit damage.
Okay. That's awesome.
Do you want the second attack rolled and then do
Yeah,
damage?
roll the second attack as well.
That is a 3.
Okay,
Okay.
3 plus 8 is 11. I assume that doesn't
Not going to hit.
Okay.
And then so the damage is 1d6 plus 5, and then plus... So
2d6.
So it's 2d6 on one of them.
That's our first crit attack with the
That
It
is
is.
true.
damage.
2d6 on one of them plus, so it's 4d6 plus 5 for one of the attacks. That's it, right?
Okay. Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Yeah.
Is it double die or double damage?
I thought we were doing double die. Is that correct?
Double
Double
dice.
die.
So
Okay.
4d6 plus 5 is the roll for the damage.
So it would be 8d6.
No,
No, it would be 4d6.
4d6 plus
Oh.
5.
He's done the math.
I was doing the
already.
math, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's got you.
Yeah.
He's
How
got
many-
you, bro.
We have 2 in the crit pool.
Yeah, 2 in the crit pool plus whatever his double damage was, which I
Yeah.
think is, so it's 2d6 plus 2 in the crit pool.
So it is total
Gotcha.
of 46 plus 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad that
We
we've
can
done
do
the
math.
math again.
Nice.
Alrighty. 6,
Yep.
1,
7,
7, 3, 10, 3,
13 plus 5 is 18 damage.
18 doubled because of hit harder, so 36.
36 damage.
Wow.
36 plus the original 3 doubled to 6 brings us to a total of 6 plus 36, 42. 42, answer life, the universe, and everything. But not
There
the
we
answer
go.
of killing this wolf.
Oh no, that's a strong
Alan
wolf.
slashes it up, and you do draw blood, but the wolf is still kicking, still going. Luckily, your party is huge, and Radford gets a chance at the beastie next.
Whoa, baby. All right, Mockery, this is how it's done.
It's feisty. It won't get off no matter what you do.
Is it holding?
Yeah,
Fox?
it is
It has
bit
it in his
into
jaws.
Fox's shoulder.
Okay.
So it tackled him to the ground,
So
basically.
he's grappled, essentially.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to run. Hello, Lupin. Sneaky dog from under the table.
The OG winged badger.
I'm going to jump across to this bridge. Anything fancy for that? Little 10-foot jump?
For 10
10-foot.
feet, roll an athletics check. DC of 10.
Don't you need me to roll?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Trevor's got to roll.
Yeah,
18 on the die.
18 on the die. Easy jump.
All right.
Radford makes it.
Let's go.
He screeches to a halt, and he's going to just punch the thing right in the face.
Roll
Two-
to hit.
2 times.
First is a 6 on the die. Second is a 15 on the die.
The 15 definitely hits. The 6, what is it with
He's a
your mouth?
plus 10 with his punches.
So it's a
Okay.
16 and a 15 plus something?
Yeah.
Yeah, those both hit.
And it's 1d6 plus 6 per hit.
So
They're
2d6.
2 hits.
Yep, 2d6.
Okay. Plus 12.
Plus a
And then
Yeah.
doubled.
because of hit harder. That's funny.
So 2d6 only rolled a 3 total.
Plus 12.
Plus
Oh, I should have
12.
doubled what the Winter Wolf did to you. Oh, well.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot.
Dude, I can just do that right now.
Sure.
I'm not dead.
Yeah, it's the only damage you've taken, so just double whatever
Yeah.
that was.
So 30 damage to the wolf, though.
Yeah.
30 damage to the wolf.
Yeah,
This time the
from the
wolf does
punches.
die. Alan
Okay.
slices it up twice. It's already bleeding, and then Radford from that end is able to get to it's a biting fox, so it can't defend its head. So Radford just hits it right in the head twice, and that wolf is out.
What a way to die. Blunt force trauma from
Yeah.
a monk.
And now there are
he went
the
peacefully.
the 3 carcasses
No.
of wolves are there. Mockery spins her spear around and stabs it into the snow like some kind of end of combat ritual, and then goes around and beheads the 3 wolves to make sure they're no longer a threat. And like all of the efficient dispatching things that a monk who has to travel alone would learn.
Yep.
Basically
fair.
takes care of that stuff.
I didn't even have to lift a finger there. I just got to stand around.
And also the various 10-minute chat rewards have expired pretty much exactly on time with the end of that combat. So thanks for that, chat. Wow, way to come in clutch. That was so much fun.
There you go, Cleo.
Oh, did you give my die back? Thank you.
I think I did pretty well.
And so you're standing
I
out
agree.
there, the wind swirling around you, the sudden quiet, and just the sound of shunk, shunk as Mockery's cutting off their heads.
Do I remember there being a lot of wolves around this area?
The wolves. Yes, there are lots of wolves in the Darkwood. There are
Yeah, I
not
was
usually
thinking,
wolves this high
not
up in
this
the
high
mountain. No.
Something must be driving them.
I mean, I would think it would be the advancing army.
Yeah, steel cubes.
Steel cubes melt beams.
I'm gonna add it out of the tension pool.
Yes, it must be the advancing army. One would think, but it would be a difficult journey for them to reach this high on the mountain.
Doesn't bode well.
No.
No.
I'm gonna get back inside and tend to my arm.
Yes,
You
I
should,
don't
like,
mind.
You should like sing to that thing or something. Could you like still play your thing with your arm messed up?
I was just gonna put a whistle in my mouth and use that.
You need help holding the whistle?
No, I can one
I'll
hand
hold it and go.
Yes, I do believe that catching up on rest so that we can be fully ready for another day of work tomorrow.
Just as a reminder, for me, long rest.
Hey,
Is that
Yes.
how many? How do you recover just all your hit
Yes.
die?
Yes, you recover everything on a long rest.
Okay.
I mean,
I
unless
gotta-
besides things that like refresh only at certain times, like motorcycles and
Well,
stuff.
sure.
I'm feeling a little lucky.
How so? Well, obviously from the
Well, yeah,
rod.
that goes without saying.
Yes.
But we have the rest of the night. We have more rods.
What do you suggest?
I agree. We already know that one of them costs time. What is the likelihood that the others also cost time?
Wait, which ones do we have left?
We have the rod of dexterity.
Strength.
We have the rod of strength.
Definitely not for me.
And
It
wisdom.
looks like gunner.
And wisdom is
I mean,
the other one, right? Wisdom's
Wisdom.
not attuned.
Wisdom is not attuned.
I look strong, but I'm not actually as strong as I look. I mean,
And
No, it's
Constitution.
more like a strong against.
No, that's what
Constitution
you
is
strong
with the
on.
king,
Yeah,
the dwarven
right,
king.
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
King
that's,
Boudreaux.
that's a good book name. Constitution is with the king.
The strength, dexterity. So wait, how many rods have we attuned? 1, 2, 3,
we've attuned
4
3.
with the king.
So
Right.
yes, there's 3 more.
So this, yeah.
I mean, I
2.
could try the dex one.
Yeah. And we have the wisdom as well, and the strength.
I mean,
Do we?
Zolth was able to do the wisdom in a single night, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that may all be true, but I personally, I don't feel up to any of the ones remaining. I'm not particularly skilled in those
You're
two
pretty big,
attributes.
right? Like,
Yeah,
aren't you strong?
I might be big, but I'm not. I mean, I'm slightly above average strong. I would assume for these rods that I would need to be more than slightly above average strong.
That's fair.
I'm going to take us out of the narrative here for a second and talk to you all as your dungeon master for
Yeah.
just a moment. I have not prepared those dungeons. I can run them on the fly,
Alan-
but I want you to know that there's going to be a difference in level of skill. In like these ones, I've tried to make really special.
Sure.
So
Yeah, Alan
just
is
so you
good.
have that to consider.
Alan is going to argue against this idea. Yes, this is all true, and I appreciate that you're feeling lucky, and that does make sense now that you would feel very lucky, Jeb. I just personally don't think that this would be super worth the risk tonight. We don't know exactly what the negative effects of not attuning to these rods would be. Obviously, we know the blindness effect of the rod of luck, but we
Yeah.
don't know the other negative
Oh.
effects.
Blindness. You couldn't see. Because
That-
now I can see. Like I see like
Are you saying?
like divergent futures and possibilities off of like
I bet they
Stuff.
love you here.
Are you saying now
Maybe.
that like the magic effect, almost like rain clouding you, has cleared away, and now you can see clearly now?
no, nothing like that. What I'm
Rain is
saying is that
gone.
it's like opposites of like the benefits. So it's like
Yes,
the dexterity rod,
it
you
could
would like lose
It could
mobility.
make someone sluggish or
It
immobile.
can make them
same with
paralyzed.
same with the strength rod. It could
Has anyone
render
failed
someone
at the
extremely
rod
weak.
before the luck?
What?
No.
Has anyone failed at attuning to the rod before
Yeah.
we had the luck
well,
rod?
from what we have been able to gather about Zothkug, it seemed as though he maybe only partially succeeded in attuning to his rod, and that may have been a part of what
Okay,
made
hear
that
me out.
happen.
Unrelated to rods, I just realized something.
You have
So
to go to
Jeb,
the bathroom.
well, that's true, but
But
you said you could see possibilities.
yeah, it's weird. I'm still trying to figure it out, but like, yeah.
How
Like,
far?
Wow, that was weird. You like moved your mouth 3 times like you were trying to think of what to say, and I like saw the words that you were trying to say. And then you said how far, and I was like, oh, that one.
Okay, so it's a little confusing. I get it. How far in the future do you think you can see?
I don't know. I haven't really.
I don't think it's like seeing into the future. From what he said, it's like
Can I?
different options.
I
Do
get
Do I
that.
have an understanding of the Rod of Luck at this point, or can I cast Identify on
I'm
it? And
I'm
try
just
to...
working on doing a little write up on the Rod
Gotcha,
of Luck
gotcha.
for you. So it's still coming to
Yeah,
you
it's
overnight.
still coming to me.
So
I
what
feel
if-
like if I spend a little bit more, spend a little bit more time with it, I'll probably suss it out. But for right now, it's kind of like when I use the chronal shift thing to kind of rewind and figure out a little time branch thing, but it's just like all over the place. And it's
So,
like,
hear me out. What if you got within sight lines of the army and just were able to meditate and look at the entire army as a whole instead of seeing probably there's a few people tripping here and there or not tripping, or you'd probably see all the little things first, but look at the overall,
I mean,
and
maybe.
maybe you can see the possibilities the cubes could do.
see like little vision cones.
Well,
where they're
that
looking.
plays into what would be helpful for when you two scout it out tomorrow. I think with Jeb spending
Oh.
more time overnight to glean
Well,
what the rod can
you
do, the
still
rod could be very
come
helpful.
if you want to, but like I've got a rod now, so I could just go myself.
I can't
Right.
fly, so
Oh, this is correct.
Yeah.
I mean, I
well,
could bring you along flight wise, but
It just depends on whether
I know
you
that
want
you
help.
don't like being that high up, and that was really brave of you of like offering that, but it's kind of not necessary anymore.
yeah, no, I already assumed I'm not going now that he's attuned to a
Well,
rod.
it really just depends on Jeb. Do you feel as though you need or want help on that? Do you need or want someone else to go with you?
No, I think maybe sticking in the clouds and being a smaller
what? No.
target is probably better.
No, not again. I'm coming with you, Jeb. We're not
Oh.
doing this again.
What if we lose both of you?
No, that's fair. No, that's fair. No, that's fair. That's fair. I wish I had my
More
bloodstone.
likely that we lose one of us if we go by ourselves than if we lose both of us.
I agree. I think
Yeah.
that this is fine. But as I was saying, in that case, you studying the rod more tonight, then resting, and then that will then make that more beneficial for
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah.
I do believe that we need to let the other rods be for now until we feel like we're in more of a position to where there isn't an army at our door.
That's fair. We
And
also
then
don't know
we
how
can
long
risk.
they'll take.
All right.
Yes.
Well, first thing tomorrow morning, somebody needs to check and see if we can't get those notes on who can cast spells.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna go tonight.
You're gonna go tonight.
I'm gonna go tonight. Here's the thing. I've only burnt up 1 shell. That's inconsequential.
Weren't you helping with
Hold on.
preparations?
Yes, but
This is more
I-
important.
I don't see well during the day.
Mhm.
What point 1? I can see great at night, and they can't. So that's a bit of an advantage. But if those wolves are coming up here tonight, we might not have till the morning. And I think going and seeing what's what now has a lot of potential to help us out.
All right, then you two go.
Okay.
We'll get some sleep so we can work on the airship first thing.
Yeah, we need a little bit of rest, I think, at
Yeah.
least to recoup some of that. But then
Radford, how far down is it if I were to just fly?
Like straight line, how far would it be?
Yeah.
It'd probably be maybe half a mile. You know, like the path is
Time-wise,
so
do you-
wide. Oh, time wise, you could probably. What's your rate? How fast do you fly?
So I think it's a 60-foot fly
Okay,
speed.
so it's like kind of like a dashing speed.
But I looked, and it's only 10 minutes per charge. So I'm trying
You would
to
probably need 4 flies if you were going to go from here.
Well,
But if you went down the path to the ravine, like where the bridge is, and you just flew over the bridge
Yeah,
into
like
the
walked a
thing,
little bit
that would
first.
be 2.
2.
So you would
Okay.
the only hazard you would need to cross would be the windswept thing, and worst case you get thrown off the side and you cast fly.
Right.
You know, so
hear me out. We fly as far out as we can
And then just fall.
and then just fall.
That's great. That's awesome. That's what I want to do. That's our legacy.
I have
That was more of a joke suggestion. But I trust you, Jeb.
Hey,
Don't-
Fox, you've done it before.
Hey, okay, pup. If I ever tell you, hey, let me burn all of my spell shells, we'll fly out in one direction as far as we can go and then fall. Don't listen to me.
I don't.
That's not good.
No, I don't suggest spelling all of your. I thought it'd be like a one slot.
Oh, wow.
Wash.
All right, so
I have, for all the past times that someone has attuned to the rod because it's been the end of a session, I've told them between sessions what that rod does and let them reveal it as the play goes on. Is it okay if I just tell everyone what this rod does, or do you
sure.
want me
Yeah,
to
no,
find
no,
out?
we're,
Okay.
we're here for it.
Yeah.
We are.
Normally
All
we
right,
have
chat.
the downtime between episodes. I say we just do it.
Here we go.
The rod has a passive effect. Lucky Aura. You and creatures within 30 feet of you that are your allies treat 19s on the die as a critical 20.
Oh.
3 times per long rest. Amplified luck. After hearing the results of a roll from a creature within 30 feet of you, including yourself, you may choose to force that roll to either fail or succeed.
Oh.
Whoa.
That's
And
3 times
finally,
per long
Three,
rest?
3 times per long rest.
That's a lot. Yeah.
And finally, once per lunar cycle, which is 30 long rests that you will track because I certainly won't, you can activate Luck of the Ancients. You present the Ancients with a course of action, and they tell you how the immediate results of that course of action are most likely to pan out. So basically, you take the luck element out of something.
Wow.
And
Okay.
there is a chance, yes, chat, you heard it here. There is absolutely a chance that we may need to nerf the number of amplified lucks, that 3 per long rest. But also, this rod contains the luck of 72 past eons. And like all of them, I tried to give them all pretty significant buffs. So
No, I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, that tracks.
So I'm just telling chat because it happened at the table,
Yeah.
unlike the other ones. So I'm
Yeah.
saying there's a chance that we'll be like, oh shoot, we really need to nerf that down to 1. But we're starting at 3, and that is the way it be.
Okay.
Cool.
So
I have Fox. I have enough shells still in my bandolier for. Let's see, well, we're doing both of us, so that's 3. I have 6. 60 minutes of flight time.
how many sides does a D minute have?
Nice.
60.
And 60 cents.
We've got one of those.
Do you think we can?
We do.
If we have 60 minutes of flight time combined between us,
Mm-hmm.
that means we would have to be able to get there and back within 30 minutes
Correct.
of flight time.
Correct.
I think it's going to take. I think we set off tomorrow because it's going to take us, I think, half a day to get there. By the time we get there and we're in position, it's going to be sunrise.
How
Let's fly. Let's just fly
The whole way.
the whole way.
How are we going to get back?
It's not going to take us over half an hour to get there.
DM?
Yes.
Never mind. You know what? Yeah, I
You know
trust
what?
Jeb.
you looking at me
You know
for?
what?
I trust Jeb.
What?
Who's got a sled?
Yo, they got to have a sled here.
actually, I believe we do.
Wait, what?
Yes, Alan will go
Yeah.
back into the room and be like, I've been carrying our possessions on it. We got this tent from this quite this character of a
Yeah.
vendor. We've been carrying our stuff on this sled, and Alan will take out the sled. Do you think this will work in the snow?
You said that the tier track was
I
like
said what
10
I
foot
said.
wide, and it was like this.
Yeah.
And it went the whole way.
Yeah. There are 3 hazards. Remember, so like the wind shelf that is a straight line, if you're in something with no coefficient of friction and you're being blown by the wind, that's going to be a pretty serious hazard to you. And there's
No,
a
no,
rickety
no.
old bridge. But yes, the rest of the tier track, by all means.
And thus bobsledding was invented.
Feel the rhythm.
Yeah, but they call it Jeb sledding. In
Yeah.
this
Feel
world.
the ride.
Yeah, let's go.
Come
We're
on,
going.
everybody. It's
It's
bobsled
It's
time.
bobsled time.
It's bobsledding time.
Jeb slide time.
Jeb slide.
All right. And if at any point we get slung off, we start flying. No bigsies. We let the inertia take us.
Well, I do like this sled, but I guess if that has to be done, then that is what has to be done.
I'll buy you a new sled.
Okay.
Sleds are replaceable.
This is
Entire
true.
mountain complexes and avatars are not.
That was part. That
Neither
was
are
mostly a
friends.
joke.
Okay, so it sounds like the next course of action here is we're going Jeb sledding.
Yes.
Is
I
that
think,
right?
I think everyone
Yeah.
else is long resting.
Everyone
Yeah.
else who's about to long rest, roll a perception check first.
Can I use the bathroom real quick?
Yeah, everyone else is rolling a perception check.
16.
16.
Yeah.
Gunnar had a 12. Alan had a 17.
Okay. And what about Radford?
Totally doing it. 15 plus things. Perception?
Yeah.
17.
Never mind.
Well,
Well,
You all head in for your long rest.
all right.
Cleo just left to go to the restroom, but we're going to do the sledding scene anyway, and
Okay.
you can just roll on behalf of Cleo if it's necessary.
All right, sounds
Um,
good.
Most of the sledding is easy peasy. This trail, it didn't know it when the trail was formed, but this thing was built for Jeb sledding. The banks are high enough that
Instead
even
of
on
Bob sledding, it's Jeb sledding.
Yeah,
the
that's
banks
great.
are high enough that even on the turns, the sled just correctly goes around. It's like a banked turn. Jeb is able to just guide the sled around those turns. So you zoom down this mountain, you and Fox, whoosh, flying down, the wind whipping through your hair. And then you come to, almost before you even realize it, you come to the wind shelf, and the wind is trying to rip you off the mountain. You have two approaches. You can either stay on the sled, in which case you need to make some kind of, you can justify the skill, but you need to turn the sled very sharply on the other end.
To my understanding,
Mm-hmm.
this sled is not a vehicle,
No, it's not.
so it does not steer.
Right. You need to find a way to turn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And from what Radford told me, at the end of this shelf is a very narrow bridge.
Yes.
So we're going to have
Not
to aim it.
directly off. You're going to make a turn, go down the path a little further, and then a
like
rickety
we're
bridge.
aiming at a narrow bridge.
Yeah.
I think we're just gonna go off like
You're going to go off the edge and try and catch again later.
and well, I think we're just gonna fly. Like we're gonna get through this hazard all the way off and just
what was the other option?
I'd like go airborne.
yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what we're because
That's fine.
the time difference you told me when
Yeah, that's
Radford and I
fine.
were figuring out
This is close
was
enough.
we were traveling down to that like and this is like this is that first
Yeah, the first
challenge.
hazard.
Yeah. So maybe he'll try just to like do some leaning to like keep it on there as long as possible. But at the end, if he doesn't make it, I think
Okay.
he's just gonna
The-
go off the edge.
I'm going to check the wording of fly since we have a little time here before Cleo joins us to make sure that, like,
can
decide
read
whether
it
the
for you.
sled comes with you.
I have it right here.
Okay.
You touch a willing creature. The target gains a flying speed of 60 feet for the duration. When the spell ends, the target the target falls if it is still aloft, unless it can stop the fall.
Okay. And it's a concentration spell.
It is concentration.
So we are going to roll to keep concentration as you enter the storm that surrounds the mountain.
I am upcasting at 4th level, so I can cast it on Fox as well. So we'll be
That's
flying independently.
Okay. So both of you will roll concentration basically, or
no,
is it still you?
I am concentrating on the spell, but
Great.
we're both able to fly.
Perfect. So we'll have those concentration rolls. There will be 2 of them to get through the storm because down the mountain the storm gets wider because the mountain's wider. So there's more storm to cut through. And then on the other side of that, you will have pretty much made it there in one casting.
Okay.
If you fail one of your concentration checks, obviously you would have to cast again to bring fly back or find another solution.
If
for that
I
problem.
remember correctly, concentration is a Constitution saving throw?
Yes, concentration is a Constitution saving throw, and I believe the level of the spell determines the DC. I'm gonna quick look it up to make sure I'm right here.
Hold on to your butt.
Do.
Oh,
Unless you got any bright ideas, we're going off the edge. We've just made it down the luge, and we're like crossing that flat plateau. Oh, careful, dude. There you go.
Okay. So what's gonna happen is you get buffeted by hail,
Okay.
and each time the DC is 10.
Oh, before we do this, before we head off, I point blank shoot you in the face with my blunderbuss, and your eyes start to sparkle, and you have dark vision 60 feet for the next 8 hours. It is
Okay.
not concentration.
Nice. So you go rushing down this mountain, Fox. You careen around a corner, and there in front of you is the wind shelf. As the sled races out onto the wind shelf, Jeb probably like yelling with glee as it zooms forwards. The wind picks up behind. This is one of the hazards of the mountain. The wind is threatening to yank you off the edge, and you need to basically get to the end and make like a hairpin turn to continue down the slope, except you don't. You just whoosh off the edge, the sled falls away, and you're flying.
So wait, I don't have a chance to do something for that?
He
Okay.
can if he wants to.
You went
I'm
to the
not doing
bathroom.
anything.
We already
That's
heard the
fair.
course of
Yeah,
action.
that's what happened. Sorry.
Yep, that's what happens while you're in the bathroom.
You went to the bathroom. on
the
sled.
bathroom on the back of the sled that's totally there.
Yeah.
You whoosh
Yeah, no,
off
I
the
kind of
edge.
just like went unconscious at the speed of we're going
Ding,
down a
the
mountain. and-
occupied light turns off.
Yeah.
And comes out of the bathroom.
Yeah. So you are whoosh airborne. You begin soaring away from the mountain and into the blizzard conditions that are outside of it. The hail begins buffeting you out there. I'd like that first
Considering-
Constitution save, DC 10.
the speed at which we're going and the strength of the wind, are we kind of like semi-gliding? Like what direction
yeah,
is
a
the
little bit
wind?
of both. You're going the right direction.
Okay. We're going the right
You
way.
don't need to do this. This is me. So I cast fly on both of us. I'm maintaining the concentration on the spell. We can fly independently.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a 10.
That's a 10. Attacker wins in a tie. I guess you're attacking with your concentration,
attacking.
or are you being attacked? You're probably
don't know.
being attacked.
I'm
The
probably
hail is
defending.
damage.
Yeah.
So you would lose concentration, and you begin falling.
Okay.
We're
well,
both in the sled though, right?
I guess kind of.
The sled is also falling. You're not in it right now.
I'm gonna grab the sled.
Can I see the ground?
No, you can't see the ground. You're like in the storm, so you're pretty far out.
Yeah. So I'm going to grab onto Fox's clothes because I need to touch him,
Yeah,
and I'm
I'm
gonna
grabbing
wait.
the sled.
you're not grabbing the sled.
No.
We're gonna fall until I see some of the ground,
Okay, you can see the ground.
and then we cast fly again.
Sure, you cast fly again. The
Yep, and we
casting
are-
works. You are out of the storm, just underneath of it. Now I need a stealth check. Now you're low enough that as you approach, the army has a chance to see you. Their perception's going to be a disadvantage.
It is, yeah, because it is.
Should I
dark.
roll?
Yeah, because you're being stealthy.
from
we're
each
we're
of you.
moving independently.
I wasn't sure if I was just here along the ride, because that's what it felt like there for a second.
Oof, not good on me.
I got a 30.
A
I'm going to
30.
use my last chronal. Actually, no, it's a new day. I'm going to use a chronal shift to re-roll this.
Every day is a new day.
That's what we say.
Every day I be chronal shifting.
Every day I'm hustling.
12.
12. I'm going to add a die to the tension pool. The army does not seem to detect you. You hear no alarms go up. Nobody moves. You're still 500 feet up, so it's not like you
Yeah.
can read their lips or hear them talking or anything. But no cry goes up.
But how far up are we from the ground?
I mean, I guess at least 500 feet. You tell me.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we're looking for.
You
we're
wanted to
looking
get
for
onto one of the
movement,
We're looking
And,
for
like,
cubes in movement.
cubes and troop movement. Yeah.
So, so
like
you
if-
come off the eastern edge of the mountain, which is where the one cube has stayed
Right.
stationary, because that's the one Radford told you he knew where it would
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
So you go racing over there. It is 500 feet tall. It's probably like 510
That's
feet
so
to the top of it.
big.
Yeah.
Chat also has added to the tension pool a second one.
Oh,
500 by 500 by 500. Big cast iron tub.
Any markings
You're
on
flying
it?
over, no markings on it that you can see. And as you get closer, it does look like, I mean, you aren't familiar with the term
Yeah.
welding, but you've seen,
Oh.
devices and
So
artifice
it's
made.
not bolted.
So
it's
you
like,
see, it's like melded together along the sides or the
Yeah.
edges. As you approach it, you come to a stop on the top of it, and it feels warm to the touch.
Well, we have a little bit of time.
Um,
I'm
gonna-
gonna.
Chat has redeemed. GM gives a clue, but forgot to input what the clue is about. So I'm gonna wait for chat to add a question into the chat for me to answer, or at least give a clue about. And as a reminder, I have the right to veto this if it's too game breaking.
Is there any
Um,
like vents, grills, holes anywhere along the top?
Chat asks, can the players ask the question? Sure. And no, there are no vents or holes along the top. It appears to be sealed at the top as well, but on top just with bolts. Like, they
Okay.
set the thing down and bolted it. So yeah, players, you've been given the question by chat. They've said you can
Do
choose
we
what.
want it to be about the
clue you
cube?
wanna
Well,
I
let
think
me.
it should be about
let
the
me
cubes,
do
but-
it this way. I was going to cast identify on this thing?
On the cube,
Yeah,
you would find it to be non-arcane.
non-arcane. So it's a storage container for
Yeah.
something inside of it.
Mhm.
Something massive.
Something big.
Yep.
Why would they hide it? Maybe so that way.
Well, they're
it
not
must-
hiding it. It's in plain
No,
sight.
I mean,
they're,
like the thing inside the
they're
cube.
probably containing it.
It is warm to the touch, which makes me a little bit more worried about your idea that it could
Ancient
do
fire
something with the
dragon.
fire, erupting on the mountain.
Yeah, but metal melts in fire. Eventually.
Well, eventually, but maybe this isn't hot enough yet.
It's so big, though.
If you're looking for other things you could do, you could try investigation, history to learn about metalworking. You could try survival to try and anticipate like a war use for this, or any other check you can justify. I just wanted to tell you have the options.
I would like to use Firebolt and try to Iron Man a hole.
Oh,
through
I
it
see. I see. That's
and,
cool.
like, cut a hole into it to look inside.
I'm gonna
Just like in the
take
corner
like my
somewhere.
cloak and kind of just like try to cover
Oh, like
up.
block some of the light.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're 500 feet up.
Sure. Okay.
But yeah, that's a good idea.
Firebolt. How much damage does Firebolt do?
It's my cantrip, but we're high enough level. It should do decent. I think it does 3d10 per strike, and I'm just like firing it off.
Okay. So it takes a while for you to make
Okay.
any progress as far as heating. I mean, this is just a huge.
And it's cold out
chunk
too.
of,
That
yeah.
makes sense. But
So
I just want to make a little thing.
Yeah. So you're talking like a peephole or like large enough to jump through if you
Not
wanted
large
to go
enough
in?
to jump through, large enough to look through. Maybe
Okay.
large enough to put my arm in. but
Okay.
Like about that big.
You make a little peephole. It's maybe Jeb's mole head sized
Sure.
for you both to look through. And the cast iron does fall away when you complete the hole. So it falls in there.
Do I hear
um,
like a long distance and then a clang?
You don't.
Ooh. Do we hear anything?
Maybe a slight rustling noise. You look in
Oh, dear.
through the hole and you can see the faint glow, the faint amber glow that tells you ciphers are active inside this thing, coming from the ceiling. The ciphers are up above, and as you look down, you can feel as you poke your little mole nose in or whatever, you feel a plane of heat that is radiating downwards. Whatever is in this cast iron container is meant to be kept warm. And you both have normal dark vision and you have superior dark
Yeah.
vision. Both of those are sufficient that you can see at least 60 feet into the cube, right? You can see
Yes.
120 feet.
Yeah.
So you couldn't see the whole way to the bottom.
Oh, that's
But-
fair. That's fair.
But what you see when you look inside is foliage. You see leaves and vines.
Leaves
Um,
from the vine.
I'm going to Jeb. Should I try maybe? I'm not sure if I have enough range, but maybe something this big I can hit it 60 feet down, just at the edge of my vision. Do you think
Maybe
fairy
like light it
fire
up.
might
That's
light up something?
that's actually a really clever idea. While you're doing that, I'm going to stand up and survey the area for a second just to see what I can get out of the what I can get out of the army movements, because I feel like the more we poke this bear, the more we're going to need to start
Yes.
leaving. So
Yes.
let's get that information.
We haven't
That
spent
is a
the
good
DM
idea.
clue yet, have we?
No.
No.
Okay. Yeah, you did. You asked what would happen if you identified the thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
Without
guess
casting
technically.
identify. Okay, cool.
There's a free identify.
Okay, cool.
That was the clue?
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Fairy Fire at the extent of my visual range, straight down, and 20-foot cube. They have to pass a dex save if any creatures are within that 20-foot cube.
Okay. I need to read Fairy Fire for a second here.
Do you want me to read it out loud
He's
for
got
the
the
chat?
card.
That would be even better. Yeah,
Yes.
read it out loud for me.
In
Each
your best
object in a
announcer voice.
20-foot cube
Okay.
within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet light, your choice. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in light if it fails a dexterity saving throw. For the duration, objects and affected creatures shed dim light in a 10-foot radius. Any attack roll against the affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it, and the affected creature or object cannot benefit from being invisible.
So
Okay.
it does objects too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it should outline anything within that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm now looking up some other things here. Sorry.
And this is why Baldur's Gate is really impressive, but not perfect, because the instances that you run into when you cast this kind of spell, no game developer can replace the amazing abilities of a perfect DM.
Of a perfect DM.
Perfect
Yeah.
DM.
Yeah.
It's just because it's his birthday.
Chat, you wanna
It
add-
goes
I see what
back
you're
to
doing,
normal.
Wash.
Chat,
I
you
see
want to
what
add
you're
to
doing.
the flattery? Maybe
Wow.
you'll be
Wow.
merciful to us.
Can I make a
Wow.
flattery roll?
Yeah.
A flattery roll?
flattery roll?
Yeah, charisma with advantage because he has the rod of
Can I roll to
charisma.
seduce?
No.
Roll 2 19s
Sorry,
in a
buddy.
row.
I'm married.
Me too.
Chat's his wonderful DM. Okay, so let me see your spell card again. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure something out here.
No, you're good.
Yeah,
I
go
understand
ahead.
the struggle of like, does it fit the situation? Maybe 80%.
I'm sure there's a magical.
Magic sneeze.
Look at that save.
Cleo cast
Wow.
gust of wind.
That was a dexterity save that succeeded. Okay.
Cleo, you got to count down.
So what I was curious about is objects that are bigger than the 20-foot cube but pass through it. I think in this
didn't work.
instance, I'm going to apply it to the piece of the object that's in the 20-foot cube. So
Oh yeah, because that's the point of origin, and it radiates around there. It doesn't project.
right.
Yeah.
So in the 20-foot cube, you can see, like now outlined for you, the same leaves and vines, but you can see that they're very dense. They almost fall like a curtain of kind of these vines that hang down. And there are some structures, or at least in the 20 feet, you can see there is a structure, a stone arch, basically, that the plants are grown across. And that's what you see. Yeah.
But nothing moving besides maybe leaves rustling.
Yeah, the leaves are rustling, but nothing in particular is moving.
The leaves are rustling. There's no wind in there, Chief.
All right.
What's that thing that? Yeah. Zothkug's plant.
Oh,
Zothkug's plant was pulled from vines growing up a wall, and they were fluttering as if wind was blowing,
but there was no wind.
but there was no wind.
As you're standing there listening, kind of wondering what's going on, you've got this idea about Zoth's plant. You hear something else echo up from inside the structure where the plants are, and it doesn't make any sense. It sounds like maybe like the sails of a boat flapping full in the wind.
Oh
then
no!
And then it kind of quickly fades and passes away, and you hear a different sound kind of emerge out of it. It sounds almost like a machine revving.
Fox.
Yes.
They're casting magic with the plant.
Should we just light up the plant?
Whenever Zoth ran out of leaves, he had to wait for the leaves to come back before he could cast any more magic. That would make sense.
You could just firebolt it.
I could firebolt it in there.
I don't think they'll know. Because I'm gonna peek over the edge, like put a cape over and just boop.
No.
do I see
Oh,
any
towards the
windows?
ground?
Yeah.
You see, like, there are tents around the base of the thing.
But is there any windows or anything like that?
No. It's just a full, solid, cast iron thing. At least as far as you can tell, you can't see 500
Right.
feet. So you're 120 feet of dark vision. You don't see any windows.
I don't think they're gonna be able to see inside. I think we could
I'm
just
going to cast a
light this up.
firebolt down into it. Not a fireball, a firebolt.
I'm gonna
because
cover
Jeb
the hole when he does this.
remembers that there are ciphers on the roof, which means that there may be counter spells. And they bit me in the butt with that once.
Oh, gotcha.
Does my firebolt go all the way through?
As your DM, I'm going to give you the choice to choose whether or not you want to do this, knowing that I'm offering you that out. Are you sure you want to cast Firebolt into this structure?
Okay, maybe
It's
before we
okay
do
to say
that-
yes.
No.
As-
I feel you.
As Jeb looks down into the structure
And
he
sees the
imagines
possibilities.
Yeah, as he imagines casting. This is a better way for me to give you this out.
Yeah.
As Jeb looks down through there and he sees the possibilities, he watches the firebolt go through, and you don't know whether there's a counterspell in there. You don't know any of that stuff. You see it pass through at least the 120 feet that you can see, and then you see shapes moving. Just very briefly, you don't see the whole action they take or anything, but you see the flickering, diverging distortions of a large mass of humanoids leaping up towards you.
Yeah.
Say that closer to the mic.
Yeah. Okay, let me read a thing real quick.
Chat, he be reading.
Leo, what was your face earlier when you mentioned like the boats? You reacted very
Very strongly.
yes. When Josh mentioned boat-like things.
The noise of the boats on the wind.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Fox doesn't know.
Oh,
Yeah, because of the
know.
chaos magic, but
I
Fox
know.
wasn't
Oh,
there.
I wasn't there either.
Yeah,
You can assume there's been a report given
That's fair.
at your with your team.
that's true.
That's fine.
Okay, well,
It's more like, oh yeah, Alan said something about
Right,
this, rather
right,
than
right.
like I was there and I remember
Yeah.
this sensation.
Alan was talking about hearing weird sounds and such. There's got to be chaos energy down there.
Let's be cats instead. Thanks for the follow.
There's got to be ASMR down there.
Okay.
That's going in the quote bot.
Okay.
okay.
Chaotic
Fox.
ASMR. Yes.
Do you want to have some fun?
Oh my god.
Define the fun.
No.
Okay. You know what?
Hold out your hands. And I take Big Boy and I load my number 6 spell slot into it.
I have a feeling I know what's
And
happening.
I crank it up, and a fireball starts to emit
Oh no.
with Fox's hand as the target. As- and there is a tiny little poof of light, and a little gray orb blink, blink, lands into Fox's hand.
What is this?
This is Jeb's new feature of his spell class.
Ooh.
It's called Arcane Abeyance. It lets me take a spell of 4th level or higher and condense it into a little gray bead that another person can use an action to cast the spell however they choose.
It's like creating a segment of a necklace of fireball. For
Yeah,
instance.
yeah.
Yeah.
But any spell. You've got a level 6 fireball sitting in your hand, good sir. And then he starts to crank up another one. We're going twosies.
Okay. All right.
He's all you got to do, look down there, see where you want it to be, and crush it.
All right.
Do you know what that means? We're going to crush it.
We're gonna crush it. Mm-hmm. We got an exit plan.
Up.
Up it is. Okay. Wait. Do it.
It's okay, you got like an hour with that thing.
Okay. I don't think I can do anything too crazy.
Just a
Um,
level 6
Add a
fireball.
die to the tension pool.
I can make us invisible.
Cool. then we won't cast a shadow that takes up the side of the mountain.
Very true. Okay.
Now, one thing to be aware of.
Yes.
This box is sealed, which means with this much fire, it's going to consume all of the air inside and make a massive suction out of this tiny little hole, and anything nearby, it's going to get sucked inside. So we got to drop and bolt.
Crush and
Drop and bolt. Okay.
Yep. Let's go.
Okay.
Oven time.
I'm gonna cast invisibility
Cool.
on both of us. Okay. And we're invisible now.
You can cast fly on us.
3,
Boop.
2, 1.
Ka-choom.
You drop down 2 fireballs at 6th level. Remind me how many dice this is. We're
Okay,
not going to
so-
roll it. I just want to
So
get an idea.
mine is
as to-
at 5th level. I only
Okay.
have one 6th level spells. I gave you the big one.
Ooh, thank
Because you're so
you.
special.
big boy.
But fireball is
It's like 8d8 normally, right?
any level above 4th or higher adds a d6. So it is 8d6 at level 3, 9, 10, 11. So it would be 11d6 for the 6th one.
and then 10d6.
So
So
21.
21d6 of
21
damage.
d6.
Okay.
That's a lot of d6s.
You drop those in there, and the firestorm is
Right after we drop them, I'm gonna cast Mend to fix the hole we made.
We're gonna hotbox him,
No escape.
smoking all of the weed.
Oh my gosh.
That's an average of 74 damage.
Yeah. We're not going to need to roll damage. Don't worry about that. I mean, you can if you
No,
want
you're
just
fine,
to
you're
do
fine.
it. But okay, so you drop these in there. You've just gone invisible. So 2 floating beads sort of make their way into the hole, and then shoop, the hole seals itself very shortly before the whole thing rocks on its side, boom, 30 degrees up, and then slams back down on the ground. It superheats almost instantly, like the heat, going through the cast iron material. You can feel it touching your feet as you're casting Fly and leaving, right? That was the other thing you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
So you bolt out of there with Fly. Somewhere up at near the top of the mountain, Gunner rolls over in his sleep as with a boom, the cast iron box, the 500-foot cast iron box, explodes, and a cacophony of noises explodes into the night. You hear jesters laughing, cats meowing, boats sailing on the waves. You hear the sounds of motors running from a completely different universe. You hear Gregorian chants. You hear the sounds of pages turning. All these noises just erupt into the night. Below you, lights are flying on all over the war camp. The whole army is awake as pieces of this cast iron thing fly out like shrapnel, tearing entire tents apart. Some of the larger tents that you saw as Gunner and Bruiser passed by the army the first time fall over and reveal monstrous creatures in there. Some kind of horrendous combination of like an elephant and a beholder has been put together into the stuff of nightmares. As the army is thrown into disarray, people are moving at warp speed, running around trying to put out fires and take care of it. A huge ring of fire explodes out from the cast iron structure, and as it kind of fades away into the distance behind you, you race back into the blizzard and the hail, kind of headed back towards the top. You hear the distant sound of alarm bells blaring.
Did we just like drop a bomb on Hiroshima? Like,
And
Oh
on,
my God.
And on that note, we're going to take a quick intermission, everybody.
Okay.
We're going to
Josh needs to reevaluate the plans of the army.
Something like that. Yeah, we're going to take a quick 10, 15-minute intermission here. And I'm going to check in with the players about some stuff. I'm going to check in with the chat about some stuff, and we're going to see. I think we're going to have one more phase of our adventure if the players are still game to play.
Absolutely.
So that's where we're headed.